Louis Vuitton. As crazy as it may sound, that's a strange way to say it. Anyways, crazy as it may sound, it's the most valuable fashion brand in the world. But what about its secrets? The things people should know beyond the runway, beyond the monogram, beyond the hype, beyond the logo, all of that. Some of it's kind of ridiculous, it's kind of seedy, but we gotta throw it through the ringer. This is WTH. I'm your boy REGGIECASUAL, and here are 7 things that everybody should know about LV. Let's get it. All right, we're gonna start up with the man himself. Louis Vuitton opened his shop in 1854 after carving out a career as a respectable box/trunk maker. Vuitton would revolutionize the trunk game by popularizing the rectangular trunks, which proved to be better at stacking than what was offered at the time. And what was offered at the time, pray tell? The rounded top trunks, like treasure chests, like pirates. Yes, it was that. I mean, you can't make this up. Turns out those treasure chests were just impractical for stacking. I mean, who would have thought? It does make you think how terrible cargo was during pirate times. Anyway, Vuitton made the flat top and made it waterproof and developed the unpickable lock. Dude had major skills. His efforts landed him an exclusive job making trunks for Napoleon III's wife, introducing him to the upper echelon of clientele. Vuitton's son would eventually expand the company, making it the world's first designer brand. LV is one of the most counterfeited brands in the world, and the brand goes to great lengths to try and stomp out fakes, going as far as having a whole 60-person squad/division whose sole purpose in life is that anti-counterfeit movement. They may need some help though, because it's estimated that more than 99% of LV merchandise that you see is fake. 99%. For all you non-math majors out there, that's like almost all. Basically, that means you need to take a long, hard look at your bag if you got an LV one as like a gift or somewhere other than LV itself. But if you do have a bag, all LV leather bags are contrasted with vachetta leather on the handles and lining. This untreated cowhide leather gets that nice patina over time. Basically, it darkens. If the natural oils from your hand and just nature in general do not darken that leather after multiple uses, chances are you got a fake jump off. It just takes time to figure out, so you may not figure out until like maybe a few weeks, maybe even months, that you got a fake bag. We all know that LV bags, just LV merchandise in general, can be ridiculously expensive, but they are also ridiculously durable. All LV bags are fire resistant and water resistant. While LV claims that their bags are full fire and waterproof, my bets are on that nature will win that battle in a test of time. That being said, LV does do extensive quality control on every single leather bag, trunk, and accessory to maintain the highest standards. One test includes bombardment of ultraviolet rays to ensure resistance to fading, and another test includes zipping and unzipping fasteners up to 5,000 times before they reach the customer, which, if isn't done by a machine, is probably the worst job ever. You're just sitting there. Before LV became part of a big conglomerate, it was a family business, and that came with a bit of controversy during World War II. Apparently, LV was in cahoots with Nazi Germany. This is real talk. Long and short of it is that Gaston Louis Vuitton, like the grandson of Louis Vuitton, asked his grandson Henry to align himself with the puppet government of occupied France. Henry was even decorated for his loyalty to the regime. The family's main objective during this time was to keep the business going in their hands, so they aligned themselves accordingly. But some say they were actually sympathetic to the views of the Nazis, which hasn't been corroborated, but it may be true. LV has, of course, since shed its Nazi past, but it did try to bury the story that spoke all about this, even telling the writer of the book that all the LV records from 1930 to 1945 were destroyed in a fire. Right, the old burned in a fire excuse. Good job, LV. That was a great excuse. It's a terrible excuse. To date, LV has had some pretty weighty names to its creative director titles, from Marc Jacobs to Nicolas Ghesquière, Kim Jones, and of course, Virgil Abloh. What's crazy about the Virgil Abloh acquisition in particular is that it was suggested by now CEO of LV, Michael Burke, who was the CEO of Fendi in 2003 and was there when Virgil was doing an internship with Kanye West. He virtually stalked Virgil that entire time, watching his career and ultimately suggested that he be the one to replace Kim Jones as the men's artistic director of Louis Vuitton. So blame Burke, it's his fault, and internships, because they work. Do an internship, it worked for Virgil. LV is part of the LVMH group, which includes a consortium of labels, but the entire company is owned by Bernard Arnault and family. Bernard has built LVMH through shrewd and heavy-handed acquisition throughout the years and has been handsomely rewarded for his efforts, becoming the second richest man in the world. He owns all of fashion, basically, surpassing Bill Gates and only trailing Lord Bezos. LV itself is worth about $47 billion, making it the most valuable fashion brand in the world, 10 billion more than Chanel at number 2. So equipped with the second wealthiest guy in the world and being the most valuable fashion brand in the world, it's safe to say LV is sitting pretty no matter how many people claim Vuitton has fell off. That would be hogwash. It has not. It is doing perfectly fine. In fact, its sales have increased by like 29%. Like in 2019, it's crazy. And finally, last thing, LV never has sales and they burn all unsold LV items after they're discontinued, after every season. It's not a joke, they pour gasoline over everything and send it to the furnace in France, putting that fireproofing to the test. Technically, that's not all the way true. I know I said it was, but it's partially true. It goes like this, LV doesn't discount at retail. It'll never happen, so don't ask for it. What they do is a close to the public employee sale twice a year. Employees from LV and LVMH can buy stuff from the last season for a major discount. After all of that, they send it to the French factory where it's to be shredded, burned, and destroyed, never to be seen again if it's not sold, to maintain exclusivity. Also, employees are barred from selling the stuff they get at discount from LV. They can give it to friends and family, but no reselling. How they can find out if you're reselling something? They basically can track everything that is sold at LV. They got the resources to do that. So just don't do it, or you might suffer legal action. Rather than just losing your job, you'll almost certainly suffer legal action. It's probably in the contract somewhere. And that's it. Those are 7 things everyone should know about Louis Vuitton. Also, as an honorable mention, just because we're based in Tokyo, the multicolored monogram, one that you've probably seen before, was designed in collaboration with Takashi Murakami. So there you go, that's some good information. We gotta do something about Japan every episode. There you go. In the meantime, let us know what you think of LV in the comments or give a suggestion on our next WTH. Follow your boy on Instagram, please do that. REGGIECASUAL on Instagram to see what I'm putting together over here in the great city of Tokyo. そして、まだやっていないなら、subscribe を忘れないように. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. But most importantly, keep it locked right here for all of your info on international street fashion and culture from Tokyo. It's your boy, and keep it casual. よろしくお願いします. Let's see you guys in a minute.